Hey guys, Coach Keith Keppner here. I help people get from any level they're starting out at with boxing to the next level. And I've done that countless times. Now, guys, I'm going to talk about a window of time that if you're not punching during this window, you're losing. Now, why should you listen to me? I passed down a lineage of coaching that starts with Chuck Bodak, who worked with over 50 world champions, and he was the Olympic coach for Muhammad Ali. He coached my father first as a fighter at the CYO gym in Chicago, but then also my father mentored under him as a boxing coach. And then I mentored under my father and also boxed under my father in the United States and in Mexico. What do you see most of the time in the gym when people are sparring? And most of the time when people are fighting, too often you see this. It's what? It's I go, you go. I go, you go. You're throwing. Are you done? Okay, now I'm throwing. When you're throwing, I'm defending. And when you're not throwing, then maybe at that point I might throw some punches. Give and take, give and take, give and take. In boxing, it is not good to receive. It is better to give, to be a giver, right? Isn't that true with life? But in boxing, it's definitely true to be a giver. Better to be a giver than a receiver. All right, hit hard, be hard to hit. Now, the best time to hit people is when they're throwing. That's a big classic thing, right? When someone's throwing, everything from a body shot is more likely to hurt them because maybe they're breathing on their punch and you catch them at the right time. They're not prepared for it. They're not bracing for it. They don't see it. That's a whole nother thing too, where I've worked on this with a lot of my boxers as they progress, where being able to throw punches and see punches from your opponent at the same time. It's not a skill that everyone has starting out. I don't know about you, but it's something you got to work on with time. All right, now, how do we throw during this very important window, which is when they're throwing, which is when we can probably do the most amount of our damage? And frankly, it's where you see most fights actually knockouts happen. It's not because someone was just like this, like, yeah, they got hurt and they ended up like this. But before that, what set that up for that to happen? You threw when they threw. All right, so the first thing, the most basic thing, something that basically I teach first day in the gym is the jab catch. It's what Bodak taught as the first day in the gym thing. It's what my dad taught first day of the gym thing. And it's what I don't see enough of, frankly. Jabbing and catching, jabbing and defending. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean jab, defend, jab and then catch, jab and then block, jab and then slip. It's jabbing and catching same time or jabbing and blocking, right? So if it's a straight shot, you jab and catch same time. Boom, close the gap. If it's a hook, boom, you're right here. So if it's a hook for the body, boom. And you can stop most punches with this backhand. The only couple punches you can't stop is maybe something purely straight up the middle or something over here or something coming around your lead side really hard. Otherwise, here, here, here. This is catching uppercuts and straights, but we can go here if we want to. Pull the elbow a little bit forward if we need to. Have the elbow back to the side. Here, we are protected, and we have the shoulder as well. If you want to throw when someone throws and you're maybe not at the elite level yet, jab and catch. That way you protect against the straight shot, the shot coming up the middle, and you're going to stab that jab, snap their head up, and get the rest of your punches off, all right? Because the jab is not the only thing. Let's do the jab and catch, and throw off of that. Use the jab to set it up. It's the greatest counterpunch. It's the greatest counterpunch is not a right hand. It's not a check hook. It's a jab. Because also, too, it has some of the most versatile uses, right? A jab counter works against the long guy, works against the short guy, works against a mover, works against someone who's stable. Doesn't move. It's a great thing. All right, so that's number one. Now, if you want to work with me, I have an elite level program where I build out custom workouts exactly designed for you based off of your size, your stance, your style, what I observe with your fights, with your training, and exactly titrate to where you are in your boxing journey. You film every single workout you do. You send it to me. I analyze, review, give you feedback so you can improve it the next workout. And over time, we're going to make some really big gains together. If you want to do that program, then click on the link below and click on the Patreon page to join that program. I've worked with people from around the world, and now you're not limited by your zip code anymore or by the city that you're in or the town that you're in. A lot of people live in towns all over the world, and there's not a lot of good boxing opportunities. And we're not all blessed to be like how I was blessed to have a very good professional boxing coach living with me and being my father, right? Now, the next thing, number two, is we need to slip our head offline with our punches. And the easiest way to learn to slip offline with punches is with straight punches. With the jab again, right? This guy's talking about the jab a lot, right? Well, it's kind of the most important punch in boxing. But to slip the head offline with the jab, boom, we can go here and we can go to the inside. Typically here, though, great place to go. Because now he can't just close his eyes and hit you, right? He has to actually be thoughtful about where he aims. And if your head was there, they'll probably throw for where your head was. And if it's not there anymore and you throw a punch at that same time, that's a good time. And then again, we don't just use it one punch. We use that to follow up with a volley of punches because we made them miss that punch while we were throwing while they're throwing and controlled the head, snapped them up, took probably the follow-up shot away from them, and we're able to get more off. We're able to buy ourselves time because of them missing while we're hitting them. Then also slipping to the lead side with our two, right? Southpaw, orthodox, doesn't matter. Get that head offline as you shoot. Now, if you're already straight up and down like this, then if the head comes offline, you're going to lose balance because your leg's going past over your foot. But if you're a little bit on this side, a little bit, they shoot for over here, and guess what? You just rotate your body, your head's going to come offline naturally. And that's the beautiful thing, too, is if you're a little bit concave, the old school boxing style stance, and you twist over here, twist over here, twist over here, as you throw your punches, your head's going to naturally come offline without you forcing it to do this wild thing. And don't even get me started on where people think that turning like this is actually getting the head offline. My head is exactly there, as you can see in relation to things behind me, right? I'm here. You're hitting different sides of my head, right? All right. Now, the last thing, number 3, is it's not maybe about what to throw, but how to throw it, right? So it's not about always, even the jab and catch, bring the head offline with punches. Those are all things that are important. But you can not do all those things and still be very successful at throwing at this very important time in this window when someone else is throwing. It's going to give you the best boxing ability you can have. And think about how horrible it is when, at least in my opinion, it's horrible. I hated it when I boxed. I liked when people shelled up when I threw punches at them. And I threw pretty hard, so a lot of people would shell up. But I always had those people that were higher level experience and also tough. And they're like, okay, yeah, you hit me hard, but guess what? I know that if I light you up while you're trying to hit me hard, I'm going to probably shut you down, right? At least take a little bit of confidence away from you. It's one of the best things you can do against someone who's a harder puncher. Take their confidence away from them, right? We saw that classically play out, in recent modern times with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. All right, so it's not what to throw, but it's how we throw it. What I mean by how you throw it, literally just putting out the shot with a quick snap. It's not a frantic, tight thing of you're trying to overspeed it, but it's just about the timing of just, snapping the shot out loose, not trying to load it up. Because if we try to load up our counter and load up when we throw when they throw, it can be problematic. It can work. It can work in its own timing fashion. But most of the time, what I see up in the ring with boxers I work with is they're going to try to throw when someone else throws. And they try to load up because they're like, man, if I'm going to throw while this person's throwing, I want to make sure it lands, but also it's hard enough that it shuts them the hell up. I don't want to hit him with a little rinky-dink punch and they're just going to keep on throwing, and then I get hit because I hit him with a little rinky-dink punch. But the challenge with that is that they try to load it up so much, it's now going to create a time lag on that punch, and their timing is now going to suffer because of it, and they're not going to land it at the right time. All right? So the answer to that is that we just need to simply put out the shot to connect to the head or to the body to get that little level of control, a sub-power punch, but then use that to follow up with other punches. So that first punch is the interrupter. The next ones are the ones that are hard. Make sense? So let's say I want to counter with a 3-2 inside of someone's wide shots or whatever, right? That first shot is just a quick snap of the body, right? It's about the timing of it. So I'm here, boom, like that, but then boom, I get that shot off. The half timing. I have a whole video talking about half timing. 3 types of timing that you need when you throw punches and combinations. All right. The first shot's the interrupter. The next shot is the one that is going to have some steam on it, and put a few things with it. Don't just have in your mind that you're going to pot shot counter, because that's what this is. We're not just going to pot shot them and throw when they throw. We're going to light up our own combination and really shut them the hell up. Right? Think when someone does that to you, what it does to you. You do the same thing to somebody else. All right. Now, how do we practice this stuff? All right. Now, for those of you guys that know boxing and have watched a lot of my stuff, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Yes, in sparring, but shadow boxing. Getting in the ring. You don't need a ring. You can do it in your living room. You don't need a living room. You can do it outside. As long as you got flat ground. Man, the other day, Saturday, our car broke down the side of the road, and I drove out there to get my wife was driving the car. I went out there to give her the car I was driving. She drove back home. I sat with the car while I waited for the tow truck. And while I was sitting there with the car, I was like, well, let me shadow box. Because let me feel I can't go run because I got to wait for the tow truck. No excuse not to shadow box. I've had plenty of fighters. One fighter comes to mind that turned professional, and he would shadow box on his breaks at work. You got no excuse. No excuse. So that's number one. You work on shadow boxing. And what do I mean, though? Seeing them throw a combination and you throwing, bringing the head off line or timing it in the proper way. All right. That's first thing. Second thing, you can practice on a bag. Oh, yes, everyone's favorite thing, overused, but you can practice on a bag. You can practice on a bag. I recommend not a fat bag, but a tighter bag. That's where some of these very thin bags are very good. Or I've even put like tubes around a pole, right? Like one of these poles you see back here, and had someone practice short shots that are just right in the pocket, thrown with the body, right? Not arming it so it comes out, but it's just boom, boom, boom. We just get it like that right up the middle of the shot. So therefore, anyone throwing shots that are a little bit wide, we're going to get the shots off inside of the shots. Now, the last thing is to do it in sparring. You can do it in sparring against people your own size, of course, less experience, typically bigger people you can, but it can be dangerous. So that's why I recommend to improve your timing. It makes me think about when my dad was talking about his time, fighting out of the CYO gym in Chicago, where he would always spar with a lighter weight guy. My father fought lightweight, and he would always spar with, I think it was like a flyweight that he'd work with. And guys in the gym would make fun of him and stuff like that. But he always felt like when he sparred with that guy, getting ready for a fight, that his timing was really good. Because the lighter people are faster. And if you learn timing with them, you learn how to throw when they throw with lighter people, it's going to be like, you're going to feel like you're the Matrix, right? Like Keanu Reeves or some crap like that in the ring with someone your own size. All right. So very important concepts there. Now, remember though, very essential stuff to consider is that with any of this stuff, we can be too predictable. So if you're always trying to counter, even with exactly what I told you to counter with, like let's say like the jab, right? That's my first thing, right? We always try to jab and catch. We're always trying to do this exact counter all the time. Anything that is repeated too often can now become a crutch and a fallacy in your boxing game. So you need to make sure you're unpredictable. So in order to become more unpredictable, in order to learn all the nuances to this, you need to click on this video right here where I go in depth on all the ways that I've seen, experienced, work with guys and myself have learned to be unpredictable in boxing in actual ways that work in the ring. So make sure you click right there. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you go below, click that little heart with the $sign, buy me a cup of coffee, great way to support the channel, drop a super thanks, and comment with that super thanks about what was your favorite part. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on that video right there.